Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Daily Dose. Hope you all are doing well. We're going to be watching a bit of PvT today. We got nOOb down here in the bottom left and BarrackS over here in the top right. This guy's on fire lately. Just wanted to check in on him. See how he's doing on ladder. Absolute Giga Chad of a Terran player. Has just been rising through the ranks like not very many other players can do right now. Who else is a good example of another? Maybe Soma? Not the current Soma, but I mean Soma of yesteryear, pre-military Soma. He definitely rose through the ranks quickly. Like, he kind of popped up and then just started rising and getting better and better and better, and every season he was getting a higher and higher seed, or excuse me, he was getting knocked out at a higher and higher level. He hasn't gotten that title yet. Same goes for BarrackS, but BarrackS has just been blasting off, and hopefully in the future he'll be able to take that mantle, best Terran player in the world. He almost kind of has it right now, but still relying very heavily on practice partners and assistance from the other Terran players. You know, Light's been a big mentor of his. Flash has been mentoring him as well. So what that means is he's probably not playing too much of his own style, more so relying on other players and copying their builds, that sort of thing. Nothing wrong with that. That's kind of how you get good. And then how you ascend to the next level is you come up with your own style. And you really start to, you know, dial in what you're good at and lean into your strengths. That's what we see players like Snow do. Like, Snow does not conform to the meta. Snow does not copy other people's builds. He kind of plays by his own rules and leans very heavily into his multitasking. And it's interesting, players like BTS, I feel like, already have their own style, even though they're not quite at that top level. But some players just like to go their own way. I don't think BarrackS is that type of guy. He's more of a follower. But maybe once he gets an ASL title and he really comes into his own, we might see him start to innovate on his own. Anyways, guys, first Zealot making its way over to this natural. Third Marine should be popping out here soon. Factory pretty far away from the BarrackS, so that's a little bit dangerous, but the factory will finish before the Zealot arrives in the base. That means that it cannot be slowed, and eventually a Vulture will pop out to assist in the defense. An SCV coming off the line here. Gonna go down and start to construct a CC while the Vulture does the final blow here. Oh, a bit of miss micro. Walking right into that Zealot. Can't really lose the Vulture there. Would be very hard to do so. You still have to be careful. You still have to control properly. Make sure you don't take too much damage there. He's going to come down and repair that now. Vulture. Okay. Not getting sent out here just yet. We'll get that repair. Of course, Spider-Man's on the way. And nOOb has range coming along. Kind of an interesting base setup from him, putting the gateway down here in the front. Wanted to get that early pressure. Not really getting anything out of it, though. Yeah, he did some damage to these Marines, but it's not going to matter too much if they just sit in the bunker. Like, if he was going to decide to push with some sort of FD push, something like that, you know, 5 Marines and a tank, something like that, it could matter, could make a difference. But it's more likely that we're just going to see a bunker, and then these Marines, their health is not really going to change too much. Wait, that's 5 Marines. Is he actually going to push with this? Oh, wow. That's a little bit surprising. Having these Marines at a low HP makes things a bit difficult. Trying to set up mines as close to the front as possible, but nOOb kind of delaying that and denying it for now. Only has the one gateway. Second gateway on the way, so there's only going to be 3, 4 Dragoons total, which could become a bit of a problem. Noob falling back across these bridges. Tank gonna advance. Vulture coming around the side. Will throw down a mine, but can it get a second mine out? Oh my gosh, he got the second mine out. You've got to be kidding me. That mine, some serious travel distance on it. Another mine gonna be pulled. Oh my goodness, that mine is so big. That mine is huge. We might actually see Noob topple. That mine connection making all the difference there. And now BarrackS in an excellent position. This is exactly what this push was meant to do. Put the pressure on, stop something like a greedy third base. All he needs is one good mine connection, and he managed to get 2. So he will be able to turn around and head back home with this tank. Actually, he's going to come forward. Oh my goodness. It's a bit risky here, BarrackS. You've basically done what you needed to do, which is kill off that Nexus. But he's going to dive in even further. Ooh, going a bit too far. Gotta get some probes here. Can't quite get any probes. Tank is just going to back away now. Should be able to escape back home. I don't think these Dragoons can fully pursue across the map, and no, they cannot. Just going to wait here in the natural. Pretty good moves, honestly, by BarrackS so far. I think that attack into the natural was a little bit questionable. Oh, he gets the probe too. Dude, BarrackS is so good right now. That was an excellent move by him to just come in and snipe that probe. You can see that Noob was prepared for a run by building the extra pylons here, but any more delay on that third base is really painful. Manages to save all the tanks. And just some very good shift click micro with the vultures up here on the high ground initially. What allowed BarrackS to get those mine connections. He had a vulture on very low HP, and he managed to like dance it on top of the Dragoon while laying mines, which is quite impressive. Now there's mines over here on the high ground. Looks like those will be taken care of by Noob. Oh, maybe he doesn't see those. There's a possibility that he rallies Dragoons over here and loses even more. What the heck? That is an interesting CC placement. You'd think he'd place it in his main, but he's gonna place it kind of out. That is that is interesting for sure. I believe that's just gonna float over to the high ground here. But BarrackS wanting to make it a little bit harder for Noob to scout. Reaver is out, and Noob can begin to put on some pressure. Let's take a look at the build. Going up to 5 factories now. BarrackS, a big believer in the 1-1 style of Terran. Just mass units, putting on a lot of pressure, and fighting with the Protoss player. Those secondary upgrades, +2, is going to be relegated to a backseat position. Not even going to consider doing that until he has a very good spot here in this game. Look, even more factories going to go down. Going to go up to 6 fact. I wouldn't be surprised. Not just yet. 4th base coming up here for Noob. Where is the Reaver shuttle? There it is. Picking up the 2nd Reaver. Speed is done. And Karen Boost is not quite online just yet, which means maybe he's a little bit vulnerable. 7 factories. The +1 is about to finish. He'll be going for that 1 armor, and we're going to see a push soon. More than likely, out of BarrackS. Try and get some damage going. However, Noob is preparing for a... He's setting up a busting army. He's got a bunch of shuttles. He's got 2 shuttles. Double Reaver. Needs a few more gateways, though, I think. A little bit light on the gateway count at the moment. 59 workers. He can definitely afford a few more gateways. He's behind the factory count when it comes to gates. Like, look at how many factories are up right now, and nOOb only has 5 gateways. That is wild. Here comes the drop into the main base. This turret on the outside is kind of funny. Just putting a little damage on these shuttles as they fly in. Double Reaver here way in the back of the base. And Dragoons over here on the side. BarrackS trying to respond to this, but he's having a bit of a hard time. Oh, he's going to lose that upgrade. Armor has been denied. This factory taking, or this siege tank, excuse me, taking quite a bit of damage. And supply depots are starting to fall as well. Here comes the Goliaths. Hot pickup here, and he's going to try and fly out. That turret on the outside was killed by the Goliaths, and so he will be able to escape. But this attack is coming. No doubt about it. This attack is incoming here. He actually turns around and goes back into the main. I think he's afraid of another drop coming in. But I believe it's time to go here. With this many factories, third add-on as well. I like it. Really going to start cranking out the tanks. As another base is trying to get set up over here in the top left. The push is coming. You have to know the push is coming here. As nOOb. Setting everything up. This is kind of an awkward move out. I'm almost thinking this is a broken replay. Wait, what's going on right now? That move out is so jank. What's going on here? 380 APM. Keeping his money very low. I don't think the replay is broken. Just clearing out some mines down here at 6 o'clock. Small groups of units. Flanked by High Templars and lots of shuttles. It's going to be up to BarrackS to spread and split his tanks while gunning down shuttles with the Goliaths. He's got four Goliaths in here. Yeah, 5 Goliaths, actually. Well, we'll see how he does in this upcoming fight. +1 armor is once again on the way, but it's not going to be done for this push. It's coming out with a pretty significant army. 160 supplied to just the 179 of nOOb. It's so important that this attack goes well. Otherwise, he'll have nothing to fall back on. There's no +2 attack on the way. There's not even a starport. So he has to make it work with this attack. Big spread of tanks. But not in a position that will force nOOb to move into him. Let's take a look at the upgrades right before the fight. +1 attack only on the Protoss side as well. So even on those upgrades, pulling up through the middle here. Big round of vultures making its way forward. Tanks are going to siege up. The spread is not that good. Quite a few tanks are stacked in this back line. Gotta unsiege some of them and inch forward. Unsieges absolutely everything and just starts advancing here. A lot of these tanks, once again, very stacked. Gotta be super careful with this here, BarrackS. Again, this push is so important. Moving even further along, gonna go right for the natural. A lot of the army is up here towards that top left. Zealots coming off out from the rally point are gonna get on top of a lot of these tanks. Setting up here. Oh my goodness, this is so stacked. You gotta be kidding me. Spread your tanks. My goodness, BarrackS. Holy cow, where are the storms? Storms go out on this side of the army. A lot of these tanks are gonna get absolutely lit up. And dude, BarrackS just absolutely threw this game. Holy cow. You know, that attack I said BarrackS needed to get some damage done with Well, it just absolutely flopped. We're gonna attack over here. Nope. 2 Reavers in position at top left. Tank. Small tank army gonna move over toward the top left. Can't really do too much with that. Not if he couldn't get it done with, 20 tanks. I don't think he'll be able to get it done with 4. But he will try to snipe down this Reaver. Reaver just out of range. It's super low. It's like he can't quite get it here yet, but he's advancing into the position. Trying to get on top of that. Shoot down the Reaver. He's not targeting it. Not able to target that Reaver. Dragoon's coming up here from the south. BarrackS getting some work done over here, but drops are going to come through. 5 shuttles dropping on top of all these tanks, and the Goliaths will be taking out as well. Probes still remain, and nOOb keeps that base alive for now. +1 air weapons on the way. There could be a carrier transition here soon. BarrackS is on death's door at the moment. With a 4th base online, he still has some gas in the tank. He still has some possibilities. But if this push gets stopped, there's going to be a huge transition into carriers. And there's just going to be no +2. No +2 at all. You can see the science facility is on the way now. Here at the 17-minute mark. That's going to be finishing up. Big army coming up the map from nOOb as he rallies 4th. Reaver. Oh, that Reaver shot. Insane. Doing so much damage there. And these tanks are going to be cleared. Some Dragoons go down, but 50 supply advantage, pressing it up towards the top center. And GG is called. BarrackS taps out. Wow, what a terrible fight there at the natural. I mean, I hate to say it, but this seems to be a trend for BarrackS. When he gets right up near the natural, he really seems to group his units up. And that is definitely a mistake. Have to spread these things out. Guys, we've got another game with him versus nOOb. Can he get some revenge? Let's find out. BarrackS making nOOb's life easy there in game number 1. Allowing him to get insane value with his army. Despite BarrackS' good position, his strong attack towards the Protoss natural. Grouping up tanks, it really does seem to be a problem for him. Something he needs to work on. If he ever wants to do something like win an ASL, he'll have to fix that part of his play. He's down here in the bottom left now. Gonna be grabbing his refinery on 12, and that's gonna give him a pretty normal factory timing. nOOb, on the other hand, definitely taking it slow and steady, managing to clear that army and just take the wins solidly, handily after that. I like the follow-up from him after taking out that army, just having Reavers at the base in the top left to make it hard for BarrackS to go for any sort of a counterattack. Just try to dive on top of that base. Oh my gosh, he got the probe. Wow. That was some really good control with the SCVs, by the way. nOOb was really trying to harass that SCV on the BarrackS, but wasn't really able to get it done. Kind of a late factory, just a bit of harassment has caused that to happen. Probably about 5 seconds late, something like that. Not the biggest deal in the world. But yeah, then going into air weapons. I always like it when Protoss players go into air weapons right away. When they win a fight, when they shut down an army. And then kind of look for an opportunity, like see what the Terran player's going to do. And you've just got that in your back pocket that you could go directly into carrier afterwards. You don't have to, but you absolutely could. Zealot here going to be bullied back. Very good control from BarrackS so far. Already dealt with the first Zealot. Looks like the second Zealot won't get much more done either. So as the Vulture pops out here, BarrackS going to have his CC timing. A third Zealot. That's interesting. Third Zealot comes out here. Can it get any more done? One Marine so far. Second Marine goes down. Might get another. Good control there. So 3 Zealots for 2 Marines. Not the best. Not the best in the world here. Trade for our Protoss player. nOOb struggling a little bit. Bunker in the natural. Not another one of these fake double pushes. The FD push. Diving in on the natural right now. Oh, a bit of over micro. Causing the Dragoon not to fire there for a second. And thus BarrackS only loses a couple of Marines. Cannot run by here. Dragoon gonna block that. Vulture going out onto the map. Should be setting up for mines here in a little bit as the CC goes down. This game will continue on. Just want to mention, guys, we're going to be starting the KCM again here soon. KCM, I believe, will be on for this week. Season 4 going to begin. Looking forward to that. Hope you guys are as well. If there is any sort of additional delay, I will post on my channel, just letting you guys know. But it should be going usually only a 1-week break. Maybe because the ASL finals is coming out soon, they might take another week. Not sure. But again, I'll keep you guys updated. Two tanks and 2 Marines. That's not looking like a very strong army. 4 Dragoons absolutely wrecks this. He's going to take 3 shots to kill a tank, but still, it's absolutely worth it to lose that Dragoon, especially if he gets another tank here. Oh my gosh, he got 2 tank kills. BarrackS showing a little bit of genius last game with his tank push. Little early game Marine tank push, but here he's getting absolutely slaughtered. This is brutal. Oh, good mind connection. But losing 2 tanks is absolutely not worth it. Remember last time he killed, what, 3, 4 Dragoons? And he only lost a couple of Vultures and he kept the tanks alive. That was really, really good by him, by the way, last game. I thought he was going to be able to clear that game. Thought he was going to be able to win after doing so well in the early game against nOOb, but clumping tanks, man. You absolutely cannot do it. Not against these Protoss players. It's the #1 thing. And it may be the #1 problem for BarrackS right now. That might be his weakness currently. And he'll have to work on that for the future. Keep an eye on him as he does. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Doing these ladder casts pretty much every day. And we've got so many different things going on in terms of casting the ASL, casting KCM, casting SCSL. And there are some other things that I have in the works here as well. Some Super Duel Series-esque things coming up. We'll have to wait on that for now. Is he going to be going for another straight-up +1 attack? So far, 4 factories here in the main base for BarrackS. Observer here. Realizes he's going to lose it, just sends it in as far as he can to see what's coming. All he sees is 4 factories, though. And a command center starts. Interesting. So, 4 factory into command center. BarrackS going to try, push out here and take this. We'll see if he's able to do so at an early timing. 4 Dragoons here at the natural. Reaver is about to pop. And so the Reaver harass can begin. I think we'll see BarrackS take this 3rd base pretty darn quickly. I'm going to say around 10 minutes. Usually 11 minutes is when it's kind of like the cutoff point for the 3rd base for the Terran. Really do need to get that up before the 11-minute mark. But we've seen Flash do a lot of really aggressive expanding lately. Our games versus Stork, he took his 3rd base incredibly quick, on location as well. The moment that he saw what Stork was up to, got pretty greedy with his expansions. And nice snipe there at 12 o'clock, slowing down that Nexus. It's about time for nOOb to actually grab that next Nexus, so slowing that down by a little bit. Definitely feels good here for BarrackS. BarrackS ready to start sliding out here soon. Command center in the air. More factories coming up here, so 7 factory in total so far. It is truly looking like another one of those push timings. Just relying on that +1 attack. Ooh, couple of Reaver hits here. 2 tanks go down immediately. Can he get another? So close. Almost gets another tank kill. 2 tanks already with those 2 Reavers. Not bad at all. Having a very hard time pushing forward here. But 2 tanks on very low HP as well. This could have been much worse. Wanted to push out before that Karam booster was totally finished. Kind of finished up during that. You will be able to push everything back. Double shuttle here. Is nOOb thinking he can try to bust? 11 minutes has passed. Those 2 tanks are gone. The firepower is not what it could be. Gonna rotate all the way around, maybe go for the main. There's a lot of mines here in the main. Will this end up working out for nOOb, or is he gonna get splattered? Good setup here at the front. The back is looking pretty good as well. Missile turret. 2nd missile turret over here as well. Look at this. This is gonna go down pretty quickly. Shot. Only 1 SCV. Not the greatest. Secondary shot. Only gets a hit on the tank, but does not get the kill. This is a really good cleanup from BarrackS. He may have a opportunity to counter now. I think indeed he will go for the counter. You can see how close he is in supply. He's actually ahead in supply right now. nOOb is in a pretty big amount of trouble. There's only 1 shuttle. No Reavers, and High Templars have not popped out here. I guess there's the 1st High Templar, 2nd High Templar there, but Storm is not done. Can't really take advantage of the stacking of the tanks if you don't have Storm or any other splash damage. He's got a lot of Dragoons. Let's see if BarrackS can make it work right now. He stopped here on just +1. No target on the shuttle. Does target it at the end there. No upgrades just yet for nOOb. As he starts to fall back here. Unsiege and pressing forward. BarrackS looking for a position that nOOb will be forced to attack into. Getting closer and closer to this natural, waiting for that Storm upgrade. Can he get the High Templar before the Storm is done? He does. He kills both the High Templar. There's only A few zealots in here. Can he target down the shuttle? Shuttle goes down. One zealot made it out. One zealot made it out of the shuttle. Now, all the Goliaths did die there. They were in the front line. But as long as he's focus firing on the tanks in the back line with... the Dragoons, excuse me, in the back line with his tanks, you should be able to easily win this fight. 30 supply advantage right now. DT is coming out onto the field, trying to make something happen. Needs to get a... scan here. Does end up getting the scan down. Tanks are starting to siege up now. Right at the natural. Dragoons on the high ground are going to be driven back, and nOOb is on the ropes at 99 supply. Having a hard time dealing with this aggressive Terran play. That +1 timing attack, it really is sick. Guys, if you're on the playing on the ladder, you're having a hard time versus Protoss players right now, I would say this is probably the way to go. Try to play the way that BarrackS just played in this game. Going for the really fast +1 with a lot of factories. A lot of factories. Just hit this timing. What is it? 7 factory timing? You're going to find yourself a lot of success. Plenty of Protoss players will have a hard time dealing with this, I'm sure. That's a very nice mind drag. Utilizing that DT to get a couple of tank kills. Be forcing out even more scans here as these DTs go to work. There's another scan. Coming forward now. As soon as the DTs are dead, tank siege up, but I think there might be enough zealots here actually to clear this. Oh my goodness, is nOOb actually gonna hold? Looks like he barely won't with these reinforcements coming. Maybe he does actually. Hold on. Last tank goes down. Dragoon's still alive. Turrets are being killed. One more rally of vultures makes its way forward. There's only 3 Dragoons on the high ground, which makes me worried for nOOb. Really doesn't have the critical mass to push through all of these supporting units. And there it is. GG is called. nOOb taps out. BarrackS has broken him with the +1 attack push. Very meta style from him, showcased here today. You can see after he gets his 4th base up, that's when he goes into the starport, adds the 2nd armory and the science facility, get that +2 going kind of for the late game. It's not quite how it used to be, guys. It used to be that Terran players were rushing into +2 as quickly as possible, but BarrackS showcased that very new style, very meta style of just getting that +1, a lot of factors, a lot of mass. Last game, he did the same, had a better start, but his push was smashed by nOOb. This time, he was a bit better at spreading out his tanks, taking it a little slower. And so he was able to clear him out. Hopefully, BarrackS will be able to remove those mistakes from his play, not allow his tanks to clump up, and do better in the future. Guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the end of our little video here today. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one. So we'll see you there.